Hi, welcome back to today's series. And of course, today we'll be continuing from where we stopped the last time. All right. So we'll be continuing with number five, which is direct debit mandate, right? So the direct debit mandate simply allows you as a lender or as a sub manager to be able to cope or get repaid back funds you've given as loan or overdrafts over time, right? So there are two basic type of mandate which we have today. One which is the manual mandate, while the other is the electronic or e-mandate. Okay, so the difference between the both. Okay, so to have a full background, please understand that both mandate, the manual mandate and the electronic mandate work similarly, right? It's just the activation process that are totally different, right? So the activation process is slightly different, but why the functionality are same. All right. So what do you want to do to get started on this? You needed to onboard your customer successfully, right? Then to search your customer, please enter the customer account number or phone number, and it will filter. Then go ahead and select the customer, and the balance of that specific customer will be displayed for you. Right. So we have the mandate type, which is the manual mandate and the electronic mandate. So the manual mandate simply allow the customer to have a physical contact with your organization. So this simply means he has to get a PDF, right, or a sheet or a document from you, which the customer has to manually fill up the form and as well as sign. So the signature in the form the customer is filling must match that of the signature of his in his commercial bank. So let's say, for example, it's a customer of First Bank or GT Bank, right? So you want to download the template. So of course we have a template at the top here. So you want to download this template, which is at the top here, and share with this particular customers, right? So the customer is expected to fill up this direct debit form, direct debit form, and go ahead and reshare back with you. So of course, doing this simply means is being uploaded. Okay, so once I select manual, so if you scroll down, you can see it require you to upload the customer file or the customer mandate form. So this simply require the customer to always sign on the physical contact form, which require to be uploaded back to the bank, right? While the electronic, which is the e-mandate, does not necessarily require the customer to fill in any document manually. So all the customer needed to do is to be connected into his bank commercial channels, right? So what does this simply mean? So this simply means the customers who want to subscribe to e-mandate must have an active account with any commercial banks specifically, right? And the customer must be able to carry out transfer directly from his account. So that, let's say, for example, he's a customer of Access Bank or GT Bank. So he must have a GT app or he must have a GT USSD code enabled inside his phone, right? So he should be able to make a transfer from his GT or from his Access Bank, whatever commercial bank he is using, directly from the bank app, right, into the account number displayed on your screen. So this simply means the customer is is to make a payment of at least 15 naira to any of the accounts. So this could be Fidelity Bank and this could be Paystack Titan. So of course, all this is done. The system automatically authenticates by names indicating, oh, this account number belongs to this customers, right? So that's why he was able to make this payment of 15 naira. So of course, on the payment of 15 naira is done, the e-mandate is automatically set up. So customer does not need to go to his bank and customer does not need to fill up a form, right? Just like the manual mandate require him to fill up a form and start signing. No, electronic mandate, which is the e-mandate, simply allow the customer to initiate a payment of 15 naira from his bank app or from his USSD code of that same bank into a dedicated account which has been specified for him. Of course, doing this, the customer is rest assured that the mandate is set and the lender, which is you as a business owner, can recover your money as long as there's funds on that account. All right, so moving next. So we have the name of the customer automatically displayed for you, hence you've selected it and the address. So these are visible for you and phone numbers so that you're able to make decision either you want to edit them, right? So of course, if not, then go ahead and select the commercial banks that you want to use. So in my case, I want to go ahead and use Sterling Bank, right? So I'm looking for a Sterling Bank, rather. So I want to go ahead and look for have Sterling Bank here. So what I want to do, I want to enter my Sterling Bank account number, right? So once you do that, allow it some time to return back or to display your correct name as in the account number, right? So let's give you a few time to display that. So of course, if that is not displayed, that simply means that likely network problem at this time, and you will not be able to proceed with the e-mandate, right? All right, so moving next. So what you want to do, you want to go ahead and explain what this mandate is for. Why are you creating this mandate? So of course, I can decide to say, okay, it's for loan repayments, right? Just as simple as possible, right? Then next, you want to go ahead and say this customer is collected 100,000. So of course, you need to pay attention here, right? So if the customer is taking a loan of 100,000, for example, and with the interest of 10%, so of course, your interest is 10,000. So you are not to create the mandate of the 100,000, you are to create a mandate of 110,000, which covers the entire principal plus the interest, right? Either it's overdrive cover the principal plus the interest. Of course, so doing, you're able to easily recover your funds, right? So next, so we have the variable amount. So the variable amount simply allows you to allow the system know, okay, so let's say you are telling the system to debit this total sum of 100,000, right? So of course we're going to work on the time frequency. So, but what do I want to do now? I want to say, okay, these customers possibly is supposed to pay 20,000. I can ask, okay, please go ahead and check 20,000 naira on the customer's account to debit if it is weekly. But however, if the account is not sufficient to be debited for 20,000, comma, please go ahead and attempt 10,000 naira. And of course, for whatever reason, there is no 10,000 naira, comma, you can go ahead and attempt 5,000. So of course, you're able to give the system a bit of conditions, which allows it to have multiple attempts to ensure that money are being recovered for you, right? So next, it's the start date. So of course, the start date should be at least today or tomorrow, right? So of course, you can use the past dates as a start date. So of course, what this simply means, you cannot use 18, hence today is 19. You can use 18 as your start date. So of course, it has to be 19 or 20th, right? So in my case, I just want to put 19. So moving next. So we have the end date, right? So if the loan per se is for 3 months, right? So what I want you to do or recommend for you to do is to at least make it 4 months, right? So why are you making this 4 months? So of course, one of the things you should um be aware of, once you set 3 months and the time elapses, you will not be able to debit that account anymore because the mandate automatically expires. But why you add the extra 1 month? You add the extra 1 month Peradventure, the customer misses his loan, right? This simply means the 1 month gap simply allows you to notify him and to also be able to recover funds, right? So that's why you needed to give him at least a month extra peradventure. But however, if you're able to recover your funds within the time frame of the 3 months, why not? That also works. You're able to close the direct debit mandate, right? There won't be any need of extending it, right? So we have first payment day. So of course, when do you want the system to start attempting debiting a customer? Of course, I can go ahead and say, okay, it's 20th. Hence, I'm creating today, at least from tomorrow or from next month, start attempting. Of course, you're able to make up those decisions, right? So we have subscription slash loan ID. So of course, if it is loan you are giving, our system simply generate for you loan ID. And of course, if you're using it for any other purpose, right? So you need to put the subscription ID, right? That identify the ID of that specific mandate that you have created. Please go ahead and pass whatever value that you think that works for you or that represent that particular check. Right. So next we'll have daily check. So how many times would you want like the system to check the accounts, uh, whether it's per week or per month? How many times? So this simply means it also do one. This simply means if it's for 1 month, it will only check one times. All right. However, if it says 2 times or 3 times, so this simply means the system will attempt to debit the customer at least 3 times on a specific date. So that simply means if the customer is supposed to make payment on 19, which is today, it will attempt possibly in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, right? So of course that's 3 attempts. But of course, if you say it's 2 attempts, it may likely attempt in the morning and in the evening, right? Of course, those are the attempts, right? So we have the frequency of the repeats. So what I want to do, I want to go ahead and select the 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 debit region, right? So I want to do say this money is to run every month and you can able to make say it's every month, every 2 times a month, or once in 2 months. So of course, you're able to give all those kind of conditions, and doing that, you automatically have your value displayed for you right below of it. Okay. All right. So basically, once you fill up anything, okay, the account number has now been verified, shows the customer's name, and you check everything works fine. So of course, do understand that once it's been submitted, you will not be able to edit it. It's highly recommended that you review the mandates, right? So at this time, we're actually creating e-mandate, which is the electronic mandate, which does not necessarily require us to upload any file. Of course, if I go ahead and click on manual mandate, they simply allow the customer to upload a file, right? So those are the two differences, right? So the manual mandate simply allow the form to be sent to the bank, and the bank reach out to the customers, the customer confirm the mandate, and the bank go ahead and approve. While the electronic mandate, the bank does not necessarily manually need to approve that app, or that the customer mandate rather, or that the customer needed to do was to make a payment of 59 to a dedicated account, which will be generated for him at the point of creation. So what I want to do, I want to go ahead and click on continue, then give it a couple of time, right? Then it lets you know, of course, if there's error, it lets you know the error. Else it allow you to go ahead and all right. So once there's an error, to let you know the error. So for in this case, is saying that the phone number is not correct. Of course, we'll just go ahead and look at the phone number. So right, so attempt to resubmit again. All right, so if everything works fine and it matches as expected, the the mandate is automatically created, and of course give you the instructions, right? This e-mandate is currently in the session mode. To activate it, kindly send a 15 naira, right? If you're 15 naira at least from the account on which the mandate is set up, right, to this account. So of course whichever bank that you have selected. So in my case, I use Sterling Bank. So that simply means I'm expected to open my Sterling Bank account. I initiate a payment of 15 naira into this particular account number. Once this is done, my mandate 8 activated, right? All right. So there are a couple of things that may likely happen. One is network glitch or downtime. Of course, during this time, the e-mandates, if the transfer of 15 naira is not confirmed, the e-mandate will not be set up, right? To confirm that the mandate has been set up, please refer to your loan management. Then down we have view all mandates. Please go ahead and click on view all mandates. Okay, please allow some time for it to load. All right, so on view all mandates, you get to see the mandate which you have created, the mandate reference, the customer in question, the amount, the date it's to commence, and thereof. Of course, how many times you advise the mandate to commence, then of course it's pending, right? So at this time that is pending, you will not be able to debit this account, or the system won't attempt to debit this account. So of course, what I want to do, I want to initiate a payment of 50 naira and give it at least 30 minutes to 3 hours. So if the payment is confirmed successfully, which is the 50 naira, this automatically change to approve or active, right? So instead of pending, automatically change to active. So of course, once it's active, the system automatically starts attempting to make debit from the start date, right? So of course, on the action aspect of it, where you have not allowed, there will be a button there which simply allows you to also try to debit the account manually. So this simply means if the system it's only allowed to run at least 3 or 4 times, using this manual option simply allows you as a lender to manually attempt to debit the customer's bank account directly, right? So to prevent misuse of service, we disable it for by default. So by default, you will not be able to initiate manual debit, right? So of course, and also we validate your business and we are sure that it for lending business specifically and for selected businesses, so you will be enabled the option to manually debit the customer's bank account without waiting for the system to attempt or to make debits, right? All right, so moving next. So we have the direct debit report. So this simply means that all attempts that are successful will be seen here. All right, so the final part is the settlement aspect of it. So the settlement is instantly at this time. However, if there's misuse of service, it may likely be converted to T plus man. But at this time, once payment is recovered, it automatically reflects in your business balance, right? Automatically reflecting your business balance, and you can utilize your funds almost immediately. All right, thank you, and do have a great day. Bye.